Hi, my name is Tammy Reger, and this is the first video in a series about women's history. And I am not a historian by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been being gently nudged by spirit to put this series together to channel and to bring forth the messages for many women that have passed before us and have done great things, some of them known, some of them unknown, to really share their message for us in the world today. There's a giant energy of divine feminine rising that's happening on this planet, and we all must come together for that to happen. And it is happening, but there is generations of women that have gone before us that put the foundation in, put the sacrifice in, or the struggle in order to make where we are today possible for us to even start this process. And the process has really been happening for a couple of years, depending on where you are in your spiritual journey. Those voices want to come through for us now. They want to share their message for us, but that's not the only reason why. There's a call to action in this month. If you're a woman who feels like somehow the bus left the station and you're not really sure if what you've accomplished in this lifetime is exactly right for you. Many women feel like they have been forced to wear shoes that they don't really fit into. We morph to them because society tells us in order to be an acceptable woman or to be accepted into a society as women that we have to fit into the shoes that they give us. And it's time to take off those freaking shoes and throw them in the fire and burn them. It is time for each woman to remember who they are, who source created them to be, who their soul is, and what their soul is calling them to do in this lifetime to not only help restructure your life so that you can have the life that you so desire and you feel called to, which we don't know what it is, but also to set the stage for all the kids that will come next, and not just girls, but boys, because there too is an element of the divine feminine that has to come in for men and boys, as well as any other gender. My focus is really on the women. I could talk about the other, but I'm not. Today's message is really to start to bring in the powerhouse of women who have come before us, who have laid the foundation for us to be where we are now. Those that are named, the ones that we know, that we have heard about, some in history books, some in not in history books, some that have made big marks and some that have made little marks that have now shown big marks as history has gone on. But also those that have remained unnamed, who never got the recognition for the things that they did in order to bring us to where we are now. I am committed to channeling as much as that as I can in March for those that want to come through. If there's somebody that you want to hear from, that you feel is a huge inspiration, not only for you, but for others to hear what their message is, then drop a comment and I'll see if they want to come through. I can't promise, I can't force who's going to come through this. It's like spirit gave me like the first 7 days. I know I have an idea of what the first 7 videos are supposed to be, but after that, I don't know, because this will get an energy of its own as I commit to it and I allow myself to open to the energies that want to come through. Why are they coming through now? Because all the foundational work that they did, they're literally handing us the torch. It is our turn to take what they gave us, the foundations, the courage, the idea that we don't have to follow society and there's other ways of doing this, and that we all deserve, women or men, doesn't matter, to be abundant, to have a life that fills you, that fills that soul inside, that wants out. You share your message, you share your truth with not fear of judgment, because people might think that you're different, you're not doing the womanly thing to do, so that you can start to honor that person that's inside of you. I don't care who you are, she lives inside of you. There is a piece of you that is literally dying to get out. whether it's something that you need to express about yourself. Many of us swallow a lot of our emotions and our words, especially as children. I know as a child, I was told to swallow my tears or put my big girl pants on, and I would swallow whatever it was, whether it was anger or fear. And that just sits inside and it grows in our throat chakra. It is time to get rid of all of that. It is time for you to align with the message that wants to come out. You may be here to help just your family or just you. Your soul needs this healing piece. Or you might be here to help others. By you changing, you allow people to see the change that's possible in them. Now, there may be men that come through in this series as they too have laid the foundation for us as women, because they were support systems at that time. Anything goes with this. I have no idea what's going to come through. I just know that for the past 2 days, I've been like, I don't want to say gently nudged, but it's not, because I was almost in tears earlier, feeling the energy that wants to come through. They will not be forgotten. And their messages are for today. No matter what time they lived in, whether it was in the 20s or in the 1800s, or, you know, back in Egyptian times, back in Jesus times, it doesn't matter. There has been lots of powerful women who have bucked the trends throughout history. And again, some in history books and some not. Some feel that their story has been tainted to fit a narrative. I'm not going to edit what comes through. Whatever it is that they want to speak, if it's in alignment with what I feel called to share, it's coming. And what do I mean by that? I'm not going to share anything. I'm not going to let anybody through that I don't think helps us get through where we are and help you rise. I want this about being empowered, being inspired to literally take the torch from these women that are going to come through. Now, I don't have names for all of them. Today I sensed Eleanor Roosevelt was around. Today I sensed that Whitney Houston was around. I sensed that Cleopatra was around. That's just some of the energy that is starting to build around me as I accept the assignment, if you will, to allow a space for these people to come through. These women who want us to remember that there is a spark inside of us that is waiting to be released. And through my work with my clients, I have some pretty freaking awesome, powerful women as clients. Man, we are going to rock it. And I can see where that is going and who I've had as clients over the years, and understanding what their part was and getting me to this point. I love my clients and I treat them like gold. And I'm so honored that they chose me for me to help them. As much as they would return the favor with the love, they've made me who I am. They allowed me to be vulnerable with them without judgment so that I could step into the shoes that I knew were coming for me, including this, so that I could be in my power to share what wants to come through. And I really want each of you that are listening to this to have the same epiphany that you can be here. I share stories all the time with my clients and even my friends. Many of my clients have become friends. That's just how this works for me. When I started this journey that I'm on 9 years ago or so, I didn't even know this existed. I could hear spirit, but I didn't know that's what it was. And I could see nothing. I was stuck in a corporate job, testing software, and I hated it. It was literally robbing me of my health, my sanity, my life. And if I hadn't had the courage to step out of that on my pursuing to fill this calling that I had inside, even though I had no idea what it was. And then I had people, women specifically, who trusted me even in my infancy when I didn't have any idea what I was doing. My psychic gifts were just starting to come out. I had no idea what I was opening up. And the message is that I didn't do it alone. All those clients, I still have clients from 9 years ago that are still with me. They watch me grow and I've watched them grow. I've watched their kids grow. And it's been such a blessing to be able to experience that. And that's the other part of this. I'm building a collective of women who want to step into their power, remember who they are. Take the torch that maybe your ancestors have given you. Take the torch that somebody in history that you relate to is giving to you. When you connect to somebody, a woman or even a man, honestly, when you read in history and you think, like, it just sits with you and you're like, yes, they're handing the torch to you. Take what I started and go with it. That inspiration that you get in that moment is that soul to soul touch, your soul touching their soul with you as an ask. You're pulled in, you want to know more, but what can you do to further what was started by that person? If you feel attracted to a certain timeline, whether it's early 1900s, 1800s, Europe, Celtic, whatever, there is a call inside of you that is calling you to remember something about that timeline that you're supposed to do now. And there's more than likely a woman from those times that you could connect to that then can help you remember what that is. Because even though women have struggled through the centuries, and even here in the States, where it wasn't long ago, it wasn't too much before I was born, where women couldn't own houses or cars or have credit cards. We've come a long way, and there's been many before us, but it's not the time to stop. It is time for us to rise up, heal our matriarchal line, so our ancestral line through our mothers, of all the crap that has happened to us through the centuries, to make us be quiet, to make us stand behind a man and make them seem like they are holding everything and that there isn't a woman behind them actually holding them up. This is what you were born for. We were all born for, to take this torch forward. It doesn't matter what age you are. I don't care if you're 80 or if you're 70 or 50 or 40 or 20, it doesn't matter. If you feel the call now, the time is now. It's called divine timing. And I help women of all ages. But I'm putting together a collective of women who want to step into their own power, get rid of all the nonsense beliefs that society and religion have allowed your power to be taken from you. And when you unfurl all that, you get to step into your power and remember exactly who Source created you to be before all that crap happens. Now, I have a lot of clients who are working through a lot of Roman Catholic trauma or events from past lives. I was also raised Roman Catholic, so I can relate. But I also have other religious people, specifically Jewish, where it's the same thing. We have been taught through the centuries, through fear, guilt, anger, frustration, that our voices don't matter and that somehow we are not good enough to receive and be the gifts that we were created to be, and that someone has to approve it before we can move forward. Yeah, no, totally not playing that game anymore. So I hope you enjoy this next couple of weeks where I channel these goddesses, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. I know that they're around. Mary Magdalene was around earlier. Just fully on board with this. This is your calling. And I know that one of these videos is going to hit you right here. It's going to be your call. Maybe there's more of them, maybe more than one, who knows? Maybe you were even some of these unnamed women, or maybe you're an ancestor of some of the women that will come through and didn't know. It doesn't matter. Maybe you were friends with them. Doesn't matter. Your soul knows. So I quickly picked some cards to give an idea as to what the messaging was that my guides wanted those of you who will follow this through the series, whether you're following with me through the series through all of March, or whether you listen to it in the future. You know, what is the main calling from this? And I used the Enchanted Map cards by Colette Baron-Reid. I love them. They're very, and the art is good, but it's also, I just like the energy of them. Okay, so the first card that I got was this one. This has come together. And I got another card that goes along with this, which I'll share in a moment. We aren't meant to do this alone. For too long, many women have felt like they have to be the support system for everyone else, and that they couldn't get help themselves. And that's complete BS. It is time for you to come together with other women who understand you, accept you for who you are without judgment, no matter the age, size, shape, culture, doesn't matter to me. As long as you have an open mind and are willing to do the work, inner work, so that you can start to peel back the layers of BS that's happened to you or your ancestors through all of these lines in time, so you can remember who you are, not just for this lifetime, but for generations forward. And in that is a gift. But many of us, including myself, have been doing this alone. Or we feel like no one will understand us, we don't belong. Been there. Been there even when I was a kid. But no more. I know there's women out there just like me. There's women out there just like you who are looking for the same thing, but also want to be part of a collective where we raise each other up together, where we honor each other's gifts. We help you develop your own gifts, not someone else's gift, your gift. Your gift is unique to you. No one else has it. There is no one. If you're waiting for someone else to come along with that gift that you think you have and you're hoping someone else will do it, ain't happening. Now, there are other gifts that are similar, but there will never be what you have, because you are unique. We all are. And I would love to get away from this idea that unique is bad, because unique is actually the best blessing we could ever have. So we need to come together as one. I have a Facebook group you can join. I think it's called Spiritually Awakened Women's Collective. If you want to get involved in this and start having these conversations, I also have, you can schedule a 15-minute, what I call Ancient Soul free call with me to talk about how you could partake in being part of the collective that's actually doing the inner work with me as your mentor. I am not better than you. I've been where you are. And I don't want you to have to go through the same struggles that I did. If I can help you through them faster, perfect. And I will always honor who you are. I don't want you to become like me. I don't want you to want to become like me. I want you to be you. And I want to love every second of it. So I'm building that. Again, you can listen to the whole video series, and maybe that's enough, and that's okay. but know that I am building that, a whole collective of women who are going to rock it. We're going to come together and support each other and do freaking awesome things. And it doesn't mean that you can't do awesome things outside of it. You totally can, because I believe that you can. But there is a population of women that I know that I was supposed to call forth. So hence I am. This is part of speaking your truth, which I hope you all can get a hold of too. And the second card that I got that goes along with this was upside down, is the One Ring Circus. It was actually like this. These go together. How many women, especially mothers, feel like they're a one ring circus? Now, I know some single moms, and they definitely feel like they're the one ring circus. It's probably higher than this. I don't know what this is on, a rock and an elephant. You can't do this anymore. You need help. And getting help is not a weakness. It's actually a strength to be able to willing to reach out to somebody that they can help you with tools or just encouraging words in a moment, so that you don't have to do it alone. We are not supposed to do this alone. Many of us have been preparing for this time, so we have been alone, hermit, if you will, especially over the last 2 years, depending on what's going on and where you live. But I've been in hermit mode before that because I broke my hands 6 months before the whole virus thing happened. So it was already pretty much locked in my house. But the time to do the inner work by ourselves, to create our dreams, to create the things that we're being called to do, we are not supposed to be doing it alone. We are stronger together. We are stronger if we come together and support each other to create the world that your soul craves to live in. And you also set the stage for any children, whether they're born now or not, so grandchildren as well, and great-grandchildren, to be the ones that set the stage so that we can then pass the torch on to them. But we can't do it alone. And many of the people that I pull through or channel through this next 28 days or whatever it is, did do it alone. They stood up and said no by themselves because they believed that what was happening wasn't just. And there may still be some of that, depending on who you are and what situation you are and what your soul called you to do. But even in that, when you do those things, you will have a support. You are supposed to have a support system behind you that claps for you, encourages you when you feel like you're failing. I have a client who is in school. Actually, a couple of clients that are in school, but there's one specific one where she had to take a test not many weeks ago. And she, as many of us do, get really nervous when we take tests. Some of us do well with tests, not because, or some of us don't, and it has nothing to do with smarts. It's just the way we learn and interact with the world through our senses. She was so nervous about passing this exam. And I talked her through it. I got her through this stuff, got her to be able to breathe again. And at the end, she said, "Thank you for believing in me." And I said to her, "Always." I can see in you what you may not be able to see in yourself. And my desire is to get you to see what I see. If I can get you to see even a hair of who I see, I've already exceeded. Because once you start to light the match and light the spark in you, it won't let you stop. So have a support system around you whether it's me and a group that I've already created that I would love for some of you to be part of, find a support system that will do that for you. Even if it's something you can't relate to, something that you're not standing in right now. Just be the encouragement for them to be able to make their goals and know that they're not alone. Because we are not supposed to do that anymore. We need to not only rise ourselves up, but we are to rise others up. And it can be really simple, like helping somebody take a test, saying you're going to pass and I will always support you, is like a gift that it just helps. And then the last card that I got, which is Golden Palace. This is about abundance. Now, abundance comes in many forms. Obviously, money is part of it, but it's a very small part of it. We don't think that way, but really it's the abundance is what money gets us. So let's say a roof over your head, or electricity, or running water, or food. That's really what abundance is. And sure, having money is abundance too, but it's only one piece of it. And when I got that card, I got excited because that means that there's we're at a place, we're at a new opening where we can allow women to access more abundance by rising up and owning who they are. Get rid of this whole BS struggle, this whole BS system that you have to struggle. You have to work hard. You have to sacrifice in order to have enough to survive or even just thrive just a little bit. That's not what we were meant to have. And there is enough for everyone, double, triple some across the world. It's only because of systems and structures, belief systems that we all have, ancestral traumas that prevent it being fairly shared. It is not our money. It is the universe's money. But that card is about what happens when we do this. When we stop being the what, excuse me. I'm really sorry about that. Sometimes I do healing energy, that happens. Because it's all the sacral space. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. If we stop being one ring circus, we stop allowing other people to control us. And I don't mean from a governmental standpoint. I'm talking about looking for permission from other people to do something, or to look to other people and do what they're doing, instead of you sitting with yourself and saying, what am I supposed to be doing? What does my heart call me to do? Not here. Here. And many of us don't talk to our hearts. Even some of my spiritual friends, I'm like, have you asked your heart what you want? And they're like, no, never really thought of doing that. Your soul talks to you from here. If you want to answer your soul's calling, you want to know what your soul's mission is or your soul's purpose, you have to talk to this, not this. And you may have stuff that needs to be cleared in order for you to hear that and know that you're not alone in that. But when you stop doing this, thinking that you have to create it all, that you have to be the sole source of, let's say, the abundance in order to make your dreams come true. So let's say you had a dream that you wanted to open a bookstore, a spiritual bookstore, maybe a coffee house. I challenge you not to go into the how, because in coming together, the how is in the group, in the collective. Whether it's somebody investing in your dream, somebody who knows somebody who can help you get that dream. In the One Ring Circus, we think, oh, I can't have that. I would really like a bed and breakfast, or I would really love a tea and bookstore. But instead of allowing yourself to have the excitement of that build in you, You go into One Ring Circus. Well, I don't have enough money to do that. I don't know enough people. I don't know this and I don't know that. The answers that you seek on how that happens isn't here. And when you do this and you let go of the One Ring Circus and preventing you from following your own path, looking to others to see what they're doing instead of following your own path, and you come together with others who are doing the same, not the same thing as you, but are also following their own path and are encouraging and lifting each other up, we open the portal for this, the Golden Palace. The shaking is because I'm channeling, just so you'll know. It's also the hand I broke, so it's sometimes weird. But anyways, so we get rid of the One Ring Circus. How many of you have been, who are mothers, who feel like if you stop doing the One Ring Circus, everything would fall down around you? Or maybe you're in a job where you feel like the One Ring Circus, even though you have other employees around you, but you feel as though if you stopped, that things might fall apart. Been there. I'm sure there's other ways, other places you can think about where you are being a One Ring Circus. And the thing that happens in the One Ring Circus, beyond the fact that you go into, oh my God, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get the money? How am I going to do this? We also ditch self-care. It's the first thing that goes. And then it just gets harder and harder to be the One Ring Circus. And people tell us we just have to work harder, or we need to just put up with it because that's life. No, not anymore. Not on my watch. We come together. The people that will help you make your dreams come true are in a support system that are in alignment with your values, your mission, and you're going to know who they are, who you're supposed to align with, as I will know who I am to align with, who I am to help. And I know as part of the collective that I'm creating other mentors, which you may align with, who will eventually be seen, potentially on this channel, and will definitely be seen, at least behind the scenes, in the groups that I create. I'm not the only one creating these groups. You may be called to go to another group to be part of a collective that's doing a similar thing that's more aligned with you. Go. We all have been assigned certain people that we're to help in this lifetime. I just want you to find the help. But if you feel as though I might be that person, schedule a call. Send me a message on Facebook, or drop me a comment below that says me, and maybe I can figure out a way to contact. I don't think I can do that through YouTube. So you can direct message me, or you can, I'll leave my contact information below. If you want to just ask a question or two. So again, call to action. This is the whole thing with the Women's History Month. Those women went before us. They set the stage, and many of them feel like we're not quite where we're supposed to be. And some of us might be I can't even say that. I'm going to say dilly-dallying, because that's the word that I equate that to. Sometimes they give me words on a channel that don't make sense. Stop doing this, come together. And I already have a great group of women that I work with who are already part of that. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do. And I can't really see what we're all going to do. When we come together, stop being the One Ring Circus, we get to step into the portal of the Golden Palace, where this group that we created shares in abundance in many different ways, whether it's through unconditional love, encouragement, inspiration, wealth, health, doesn't matter. We are all supposed to work together now. So if you're somebody who feels called to this, click the link below. You can talk to me for 15 minutes and I can help you either get into the collective that I'm building, or I will direct you to somebody I think might be more in line with you. I just want you to get the help. And if you feel like I'm the right person, then I will be so grateful to have you. If you don't feel called to that, great too. I hope you enjoy the next couple of weeks of videos that I do for Women's History Month, and one of them inspires you to find a place where you get to come together with people, women who are just like you, who want to rise up and create a world of harmony, balance, peace, and abundance for everyone. So thank you for watching this long. I hope you are excited about the videos that will come in the next couple of weeks or days and weeks. And if you have anybody who want to maybe see if they'll come through, drop me a comment. I can see if they want to be part of this. I can't force them. It's really up to them. I know that there are already some on standby for sure. And we'll see where this goes. So thank you again. And I hope to see you on the next video. Bye for now.